If you're feeling suicidal, I want you to get into bed and just lay there. Do nothing, interact with nobody, do absolutely nothing. This means no food, no water, no phone, no internet, nobody. Just you being with you. Of course, if you need to go to the toilet, go to the toilet, and upon finishing your visit, return to the bed immediately. Lay there. Keep laying there for however long it takes. And you see, the reason this works, from my experience with 100% success rate, even amongst many of my friends who I've instructed to do this very thing in times of crisis, in times of overwhelm of life, in times where you might not see any way out other than taking the final way out. And so the reason this works in those moments is because when you don't interact and try to change, when you don't try to fix the problems anymore, and when you just surrender yourself, when you give up, because killing yourself is not giving up. That is submission to the suffering. That is not surrendering to the suffering itself. You are becoming a victim to it. By doing this, by saying that, okay, I want to die. I feel absolutely crappy today. Maybe I have been for weeks or months at end. I see no way out. And so I choose to do absolutely nothing about it. I give up. I surrender my life to life itself. There's nothing more for me to do here. And so you get into bed without food, without water, without phone, without people. And you just find yourself here amidst all the thoughts, the feelings, the painful sensation, right? And you don't try to solve anything. You don't try to engage with the seeming problem that persists in your mind. You just simply lay here, calmly, by yourself. For how long? Well, as long as it takes, right? As long as it takes for you to reach that critical point wherein you can no longer resist getting up out of bed, continuing your life with the realization, the knowingness that staying in bed is the worst possible place to freaking be, because there's a life out there waiting for me. There's a life that you have been gifted. There's a life waiting for you to show up to it. And so staying in bed, doing absolutely nothing, surrendering your life is the worst possible place to be. And you'd rather be alive than stay in bed, slowly decaying, dying. Because let's put it this way. If you really, really, really want to die, right? Let's give it to you that. Okay, fair enough. Well, why are you in such a haste about it? Why are you in a hurry about getting to the grave? Because if you're really finally concluded in yourself that this is what you want to do, let life take care of it for you. If you stop feeding yourself, if you stop taking care of yourself, if you stop taking the necessary actions to sustain this life, this human life, it will necessarily perish all by itself, right? And so there's nothing that you need to do. You don't need to go find the rope, find the gun, or take the medication, or look for the helium tank, or whatever it may be. No. You simply stop nourishing the body and the mind. And so, you know, when animals feel sick, they fast. They cease interacting with life. They simply stop all doing, all eating, all feeding, and allow the body to recover by itself. Because we have this healing mechanism in the body and mind always seeks a state of equilibrium, a state of health. And so, when we cease corrupting our body, our mind, through our activity, our doings, and whatever we input into our system, whether that be what we consume physically or mentally, when we pause all this doing and let it come to a halt and end, the body, the mind has space to recover itself, to recover from all the damage, the hurt, the pain. But it can only ever do so when we allow it, grant it the space to do so. And so that is why getting into bed and doing nothing at all allows you the calm, restful space to go back, bring yourself back to center, not by a way of your doing, but simply by the natural healing mechanisms, the functioning of this body temple that you inhabit. And so, I've been in this predicament many, many times. I know of friends who have been in this situation many times. And this always works. It always works. Because even though life can, and is certainly overwhelming at times, can be so much pain involved, so much suffering, and we really don't always see the way through all that pain and suffering. But slowly decaying, dying day by day, as you lay bare in your bed, that is worse than any pain or obstacle that this life has to offer. I guarantee you that. You will come to that realization. You will know that suffering of laying there and the extreme desire to get up, the extreme desire to eat food, drink water, to reach out for your phone, to follow that old pattern. And you just tell yourself, no, I will not get up. I will not grab for my phone. I will not go to the fridge. I am done with it. I am over with it. I am done with life. I will have no more of it. And when you take that attitude and just watch yourself slowly die, not pulling the trigger, not jumping through the rope, just watching, being closely attentive to the process of dying, because you will die. And that portion of you that portion of you that will die is that old portion, that old identity, that old idea of who you think you are, that can no longer persist. That is not serving you, that is detrimental to your life. That very core belief that you've carried for years upon years, that self-judgmental, that beaten down dog, that perception of yourself that is just misplaced, is an oozing wound causing even more suffering that you can't stop picking. That part of yourself will die, and you will rise from the ashes of death. You will rise out of that bed when you can take it no more, when you know that you can continue in your life no more the way that you have been. When you know that death is not your destiny, that victory and glory is a road ahead. You will rise once again. I promise you. Take my word for it. get to bed.